growth.
Listen, when you're going into a draw and it's Genji BLG,
I love the attitude, honestly.
doesn't matter. We're getting fisted both ways.
We have
The lower bracket run begins today, not in fucking next week. It begins today. It's already checked out.
Yeah, how we're gonna get eaten here at MSI on the West. No, but no.
All right, let's rock.
All jokes aside, I'm looking forward to seeing who we're gonna face off against.
So pool 1 plays against pool 4,
Different things that can happen.
and pool 2 and 3 play against each other as well.
The 8 teams, 2 are
Man, the seeding is so crazy to me that these two,
So you never know. They're tier 2 teams, but that's just
because they
the number one
came through
seeds
play-ins as
from,
first seeds and they came through play-ins as second seed. The first seeds from the major regions that are already locked to main stage are higher seed,
Tier 3 are the
which is not good. You know why? Because that means these two face each other and these two face each other.
The reason that there's not that many different
So,
draw possibilities is the
G2 gets T1 or Tess, Fnatic gets BLG or Genji. That's it. There's nothing else that's complicated about this.
Good learnings from last year. And
Pick your poison. I think G2 wants Tess,
we will have
probably.
this one later.
But T1 is obviously going to happen because it's Fate,
again,
and Fnatic, I mean,
because we pretty much
farewell. Is it double elimination? Yeah, double elimination. Don't worry. If they lose the first round, they're fine. It's double elim. It's a big bracket.
I guess we'll see about this.
Big bracket.
I really want to see what G2 is going to be.
I was gonna say,
and I really want to see TL.
My question is, do you think G2, because they have to draw TES or T1,
I think they...
who would they rather have? Who would you...
I think TL... Okay.
Face?
I think TL needs top esports more than G2 does. That's my take.
I would rather...
So I think if G2 gets Tess, it's good, but TL gets harder fucked. Because I think TL gets cleared by T1. I think TL has an okay chance versus Tess.
I mean,
But I think
away from that in
G2 might put up a bit of a better fight versus T1 because G2 you have no idea how they can either get stomped or they do well. It's 50-50. But TL are just outclassed in every role. And as a team, their style is the exact same. They're just outclassed. The only difference is top a bit, I guess.
Because like based off of what we've seen this year,
Top jungle, but yeah. I think TL is sweating for top esports more than G2 is. Also, by the way, chat, a quick thing before this starts, because a lot of people are here.
Well, TES brought up
Next week,
against, BLG.
the games start at 11 a.m., so an hour later. But on the weekend, they start at 6 a.m.
I mean,
Okay? So they start 3 hours earlier on the weekend.
TL should play T1 again because man, they almost won that best of 1 at Worlds 4 months ago. But I just
all right,
think T1 is
Genji.
a stronger team than TES. So let's see the first.
I'll probably move my cam down here, right?
I'm gonna have Genji, of course.
I guess the first consequential draw is when he's moving to the other bucket.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
I'm glad that we saw
they're going to draw BLG, and they're going to get put in opposite sides of the bracket, I think, right?
Each side of the bracket will only be allowed.
Which side of the bracket do we want is the question.
Yeah, avoiding the match.
Let's see which side of the bracket we want.
I think it's going to make everything spicier as well.
Nothing will happen till the third draw.
BLG drawn second here.
Now they'll draw G2 and TL, and then shit's going to start happening.
I mean, it's compelling tournament later on. You're going to have more cross-regional matchups, which is what if we wanted to watch Genji versus T1, we got to. And we still might, but they're going to have to prove that they're better than the other regions first.
All right. Now, I hope they draw TL first.
This is when it becomes interesting. All right, let's see.
Yes.
Team
Wait, that
Liquid.
means... Wait, that means G2's against T1, I think.
So TL plays, I believe they're going to slot right up against Genji then, you'd think.
Yeah.
It's better, I think, this... Listen, Genji always fucks G2. It's not fair.
We still don't know.
They're technically a first seed.
Yeah, we still don't know.
Well, obviously, they're going to play Genji.
I prefer G2 to be on the bottom side. I prefer G2 going up against BLG than Genji.
G2.
I don't know why. I feel like they're the lane swap connoisseurs, you know? They're them and Nip were the lane swap OGs, and against BLG, you need to swap that shit.
I don't know if that's going to translate in good results, but
And they're
at least
they're
I
on
know
the
that they're
BLG
hungry.
side of the jacket, the bracket,
All right.
which is actually like
really.
Please draw T1. Please draw T1 now, please. Please draw T1. I know it's going to be top esports draw, because G2 always face T1. Please be T1. It's top esports.
Hyper aggressive.
Fuck!
Oh.
Fuck!
All right.
That means G2 has to beat T1 and then BLG? Fuck, man! What the hell?
The smile.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing is, TES, even if they weren't drawn there, they
How do you feel about this? Team Liquid versus TES.
It doesn't matter?
That's fine.
Really?
Like I said, TES, it's as fine as it's going to be. Like, everything's a bad choice.
Yeah.
T1, BLG,
T1.
that early in the tournament?
All right, there you go.
I like that.
Careful what you wish for. Nothing is easy here, but yeah.
You did say
It's double elimination, by the way. Don't worry, it's double elim.
You did this.
It doesn't show the full bracket, but there is a lower bracket.
Man,
All right, now
TES,
I hope they draw PSG.
That's interesting.
I'm trying to project into what it's gonna look like on the Rift. Fnatic.
Fnatic Gen G? Really? Well, Humanoid.
They go into the top bracket.
I think you would have had a tougher matchup versus BLG. But it doesn't really matter where you go, does it? Like, it's fucked. Do you want to play against BLG or Gen G? And if you win, do you want to play against T1 or Top Esports? I guess the latter is a bit easier, right?
Double LCK LEC in the first round, right?
Yeah.
This is a good draw, though. Good draw. Because you
None
get...
of these are good outcomes. Like, none of
these are good draws.
None of these are like, wow,
it's
I'm
tough,
so
but it's good draws.
This is how brutal MSI
Would
is.
have we been happy anyway?
It's a lot of mixed region draw. I like that draw.
Very, very
I like the
Spartan
format.
tournament.
Yeah.
You get LCK versus LPL if they win.
But yeah.
You get LCK versus LPL if they win, or G2 versus LPL. And then, like, you get EU versus Korea. You get NA versus LPL.
Really
It's pretty mixed up matchups. I like that draw. Pretty calm though. Pretty calm draw.
These are really exciting matchups. Gen
Pretty calm draw.
I know that Marek didn't want to have this, but I actually want to see him against Chovy. I want to see.
Yeah.
But G2 is against the LPL, so that kind of sucks.
Demons as well. I want to see if T1 is gonna be the team they were before.
T1 versus G2 classic. T1 versus G2 classic.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Well, it's EU versus the LCK.
For what it's worth,
it's
Jan
EU
was
versus
better
Korea.
than he's ever been in LCS playoffs. More
EU versus
kills
Korea,
than
chat.
any player ever in
Oh
LCS
my God.
playoffs. Yeah.
EU versus Korea.
Incredibly strong as a bot lane duo, like they have for most of the LPL split. So it'll be a good test, right?
Yep.
I want to see how the meta evolves. I want to see how the game evolves, how our teams have been prepping, how much they can fight. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
I mean, predictions, early predictions. I think Gen G beats Fnatic. I have a feeling Top Esports can lose to Team Liquid. I think that's the Team Liquid TES is close. It's not super close, but I do think Team Liquid can beat them. They're beatable.
Take care and see you soon.
Like Fnatic Gen G, I don't think it's winnable. But I do think TL can beat Top Esports. T1 versus G2, I think is the most exciting matchup of the bracket. Obviously, it could go... G2 could get stomped, right? But it's the most exciting matchup. BLG, PSG is not even a discussion. PSG is going to get absolutely murdered in every role. I mean, Aji said he wanted to play against Bin, so you got that in round 1. Enjoy that. I just wonder how refined G2's lane swaps are. And have they found another layer to the lane swaps that teams aren't doing yet? Because it wouldn't surprise me if G2 come out in round 1 of the best of 5 with something crazy. Some different lane swap alteration, some Sion bot dive instead of lane swap fake, some champion. If they don't have anything up their sleeve, I think T1 will just destroy them. They need to change the game up to make it unconventional for something that T1 hasn't played that isn't standard. Gen G Fnatic, I think Gen G just roll them in stylistic approach. And yeah. TL Tess. The biggest worry I have for TL versus Top Esports is bot lane. Like, how is Jackie Love Mako gonna do against Yeon, Core JJ? If they get Kalista Ashe, Lucian Nami, if they get a Varus lane. I'm really worried about top. I'm not worried about Appa. Actually, I'm not worried. I think Cream's underperforming. I think Cream's nervous and he's not feeling it. This is a good matchup for Cream to get confidence in the international. But I'm not actually worried about Appa. I don't think Cream will punish him. I think he has the best mid matchup of the whole tournament. If he got Faker, he'd get fisted. If he got Chovy, he'd get fisted. Cream, I think, is fine. Especially considering he's a mini champ player. Appa can just play Ziggs or Aurelion Sol or some shit. I'm just worried about bot lane for TL. I also think jungle's fine. I think Umti's fine against Tian. Umti's good at sacrificing, playing from behind. Umti's good at sacrificing himself for laners. I am just worried about TL's bot lane. But I think TL can win that matchup, actually. I think TL can win that matchup. If it was best of 3, I'd be even more inclined to say TL can win that matchup. But it's best of 5, so... But yeah, for me, the two closest series are TL Tess and G2 T1. To nobody's surprise, I guess. But if I had to do predictions, I would say Gen G advance, I will say my hot take of the tournament is TL maybe could win that. No, I won't. TS will win. The obvious draw is this, right? This is the obvious one. The hot take is TL can win. I think everything else is the biggest upset ever. G2 could win maybe. But if Fnatic win or if PSG win, that is the upset of the tournament of the decade. If Fnatic win that matchup, that is the biggest upset in esports history. There is a loser's bracket. There is a loser's bracket. The bracket will be bigger. So don't worry, if you lose, you're fine. If it was best of threes, you know, it could look different, but... Like Gen G, for example, are not a momentum team, but Fnatic are. So if Gen G smash Fnatic in game 1, Fnatic's going to be clocked out. It's going to be a 3-0. So I would say Gen G probably 3-0 Fnatic. TL Tess, I think, can be close. I think 3-1, 3-2. G2 T1, I think it'll be 3-1 T1. I think G2 will come up with something crazy for a game to win, but T1 will slam them shut quite quickly after they realize what they're doing. I don't think there's more G2 can get out of that. But G2 snatching a win with something unconventional is expected, I think. I think it's actually a disappointment if G2 don't take a game. That's my take. If G2 don't win a single game against T1, against LCK's second seed, our first seed can't take one game, that's disappointment. If G2 get 3-0'd, their hopes for the tournament are gone. If they win one game, there's hope. BLG PSG is a 3-0. I think anything more than this is insane for G2, and TL winning is crazy. What's Fnatic? The Fnatic Gen G matchup. The problem in the Fnatic Gen G matchup is Fnatic's biggest strength is their mid jungle, right? Gen G's biggest strength is their mid jungle. They have the best mid jungle in the world, probably, right? They have Chovy Canyon, right? This is absurd. So matchup-wise, it's really tough for Fnatic. The only good news for Fnatic is the smallest argument you can make is Fnatic's bot lane might be able to match Gen G's or be better. Like, I could argue Jun with his form right now is insane. And maybe that can carry the map. Maybe. That's the cope. If you're digging for cope, you say Fnatic bot lane. Maybe they can do something crazy. And maybe Oscar can play like Camille or some shit. And Keen Sante will come out. And maybe there's a wait and an angle. I mean, think about it. Oscar's Camille did well against 369's Cassante. If Keen Sante comes out and Oscar gets Camille again, there's an angle there. You know? Oscar's in good form. But the problem is Fnatic relies on Razork so much. And I think Razork against Canyon Chovy, he's just too suppressed. He's too suppressed. They're too consistently good. And they never give you anything. But I put my money, okay? This is my hot take for the tournament, okay? You can clip and ship this. I'm quite confident that G2 is going to show something in this series that hasn't been shown before. Whether it's a different iteration of lane swap, or if it's something that's not been picked yet and is completely off meta, I am positive that G2 has something up their sleeve. Because I know for a fact that if they don't, this tournament is going to be horrible for them. But random guesses could be like, they pick Sion, they fake a lane swap, they late invade bot, they try some Sion dive cheese that BDS did and T1 Academy did back in the days. That was meta for a bit when Sion was meta, and they fake you out, you know, they bait you into something. G2 is such a trap team when it comes to internationals. I mean, G2 always sets some kind of trend. Last MSI, they set the Nautilus mid trend. This MSI, they're setting the lane swap trend after Nip did it. So I would put my money on G2 having something up their sleeve, and that's why I think G2 can take one game. It's just about how fast can T1 respond to what they're doing, and is it fixable as the series go on? You know, is there something they can do about it while the series progresses? Is it stoppable? Is my main point. You know, is there an answer? What the fuck? Can they figure it out?